Hey everybody, I hope you're all having a great day so far, and I hope you had a great weekend. Yeah, thanks for letting me take the day off on Friday. I don't know, I was super tired. I think it was just everything that week getting to me. But I think my schedule is going to be a bit more normal this week, so I hope that I will be able to stream every night like usual. And okay, let's go ahead and get to it, I guess. All right, hi everybody again. So let's see here. We were working on the audio system, and if I remember correctly, on Friday or Thursday, I left with a bug. So let's just see. No, it's working. Okay. Maybe the bug was when I tried to move, there was something going on. Okay, yeah, something happens in the action system, I guess. Oh yeah, an animation release when it's not waiting. Let's see if we can debug that here. So the animation sequence, I guess the wait 6 and the audio play 6. Interesting. So it's obviously happening when the sound effect checked not playing, and so it was done, and it signaled to the rest of the system that the wait was over. I think in order to really test this, I'm going to need to have a bit more debugging or debug logging. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's not what I want. That's weird. This class should be in the UX. Why is it up here? Because this has to do with Unity stuff. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I guess I created it in the wrong spot. Oops. Scroll down, please. Alright. That shouldn't cause any problems, except yeah, I'll need to change this namespace. Alright, that looks good. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there, but oh wow, it triggered a reload. Any errors because of that? No, okay. So anyway, that was kind of a tangent, but okay, so what I want to see is, I guess here we want to signal await, and then I'll want to debug that we're wait, what is this all going for? Let's close everything. Forget what that all means. Oh, so it's waiting for all things. I wonder if that could be the problem. Where, isn't there a separate class that actually listens for the wait completes? I forget how I did this code. Okay, playing animations. Okay, yeah, so this is where it has like the outstanding. So when does it add something to it? On animation registered. Okay, so trying to figure out where I call this. I can't remember how I did this code. It's been a couple weeks. Okay, so here, okay, we just add it right. Like if we're not in the logging mode, we just add the index immediately here. But if we are in the logging mode, then okay, then it's the execution manager that handles it. Okay, and it just, oh, so here I didn't watch for the audio. Except it'll be a little different because the audios don't always have a wait index. So yeah, if animation.index is greater than or equal to 0, then we would set animation wait here. Okay, I forgot that I did this code. So is that correct? So here, or I guess it would be in the Lua audio functions. Okay, that's gets. Trying to see over here where the where I did the function to actually play Lua. Nope, that's not it. Alright, so I guess I'll look in the what do I call it? The audio. So yeah, the audio source here, and I'll just see where I actually set this function. The Lua audio source functions. Where is this? I don't see it right here unless my yeah, it's definitely not there. So what folder is it in? Oh, it's in the UX, I think. Yeah, I really messed up the folders for some of these. I wonder, did they get... No, I probably just wasn't paying attention. Like I said, I was kind of out of it last week, so I'll just move this folder up here. Or that script up there. So okay, so no harm done. It's in the right namespace already. Alright, so... Okay, so play audio. Yeah, if it loops, then we don't set up an async request. So that's what I wanted to make sure, because I wanted to make sure that the wait handle starts off as -1. Or is set to -1 if it's a looping audio. Which it is, so we're good. Okay, so I think that should fix that bug. Let's just try it out. Oh. And this one, I'll just move it there. So it should jump. Okay, no, so it does do the audio perfectly. And no errors. Gosh, that jump has a long timer. But it works. Should jump. It has... Oh, that's the height. The speed is just 1. So let's set the speed higher just so it won't take so long. Anyway, okay. So now that that's all taken care of, I guess I can... Oh, I haven't done this yet. Or did I? I don't know. I haven't tested it, but I did. Got coroutine and action mode to work in theory, so that's good. But before I go any longer, or any more on the audio system, I wanted to do a little bit of code cleanup. Because over the weekend I just realized I didn't really like the way I've done a lot of the LuaInterface classes, so I'm going to try and knock this out tonight. It shouldn't really take that long. But, I mean, I've been complaining about it for the last week or so about the Lua object registry being kind of weird. And I don't really like the way, let's see. Yeah, I have this class that's kind of useless. It just has a bunch of delegates. And really, there's no point to it. I could just as easily have had, oh, let's see. So this play, I could just go ahead and get this actual function in there. It's not gonna load it for me? Oh, because the folder or the file was moved. Because this really doesn't have anything special that the actual audio source class couldn't have, besides some of these, like it has a script manager, but I don't think it'd be that big of a deal if we expose this a bit more to the Lua interface. So I think in the long run it'll make everything easier, because this, like, these classes don't do anything except link to these classes, and I think this class just is not needed. And then there's a couple other things I wanted to fix. Yeah, like the script state, so the Lua interface can actually know some information about the scripts it's running, so it can throw exceptions easier. I mean, ideally I'd like for the Lua interface classes to be the only thing that ever throws a script runtime exception. That would be nice, but I don't know if that's completely a worthwhile goal, because some things like the coroutine helper or the coroutine system manager also throw some exceptions, so we can see about that. And then, yeah, I'm also eyeing these Lua collars. Some of these might not be needed anymore. I don't know. But let's take it one at a time. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, like, in order to pull this class into the audio source, I'm going to need to have all the information that this Lua audio source function has. And so I'll need to be able to get a grep onto the script manager somehow, which I'll probably rename to animation script manager, just because, since it'll be public to other things. And then like this query and the stored animation. So really there just needs to be a way for the Lua interface to get a hold of things from the rest of the game, and that's where that script, let's see, script state is going to be. But I might call it, I don't know, like the game link or something, because that's going to be how it will be linked to the rest of the game systems. And then, for instance, the Lua object registry. Where is it? Oh, wrong namespace. It always annoys me. I don't know why this window always, like, resets its scrolling whenever I add a new object. It confuses me. So a couple things we can move out of here, I think. I really want this registry just to basically have these lists to Lua objects instead of keeping track of non-Lua object things like pathfinding, or I don't know. Oh, here's a prime example that these objects I want to move. Okay, so these things will still be in it because they're all audio stuff, but maybe not this audio source link, I don't know yet. But the Lua object registry, instead of having this, we'll have to have a link to the game link. And this will just, because it's going to need to pass this information onto the constituent classes. And I think the game link could just be past this. Or maybe I'll just make them accessors so that I don't have to have such a big constructor. Or you know what? The game link can actually just have a reference to the actual game. So that way it can just grab these components as needed. Okay, so this would be... Yeah, so then we'll have the game components, right. The database is game components dot get. I don't want to use an autocontroller here, even though it has all the helpful helper functions, because these things won't get disposed in between scenes, so we'll want to have like control over when our claims and subscriptions to any messages get disposed. So yeah, we'll need to keep track of that ourselves if we actually have any messages. I don't know. Okay, so let me see what else. I guess I'll have a reference. Maybe this object should just create the Lua object registry. Maybe the Lua object registry, instead of like passing this stuff to the different classes, can actually just pass the link. That would probably be a little easier. This action logger, or one of these I might be able to get rid of. That's on my chopping board. So basically, the Lua object registry is just going to have references to all these different Lua interface classes, but anything that's not part of the Lua interface, I want the game link to have. Just kind of keep things a little bit better organized, I think. Yeah, we'll have accessors. The Lua object registry, it's part of like the game data, isn't it? Let me see. So probably we'll want to move the game data. Oh, it's part of the Lua environment. Okay, we'll just leave that there for backwards compatibility. I don't really know if the outside game one, well, maybe I'll need to have a reference to the game link. And then the link. Okay, so when is this called? Probably during the loading phase. Yeah, so the asset organizer calls it right at the beginning. I don't know if there's really any reason it has to be called right here and it can't be called, or it can't be created right at the beginning. Because this is called right when it begins to load mods. Well, I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Probably it'd be safer to do it now because our down here, like after everything has been organized, to make sure that it doesn't try to grab any information that's not been loaded yet. But if that's the case, then it should be down here. So does the Lua environment, it's not, it doesn't actually have the controller, so I need to pass it the game. Okay, I guess that's safe to have. Okay, no, I don't have it that way. I gotta get it from the controller, I think. Oh, so I have it here, but I need to store it, I guess. Controller.game. Mic a bit. We'll just store a reference to that instead of actually storing the controller. I think that will work better. And then pass it here. Okay, there we go. And now I guess let's clean this up. So yeah, instead of passing all that, we'll just pass the link. And then we can just get what it needs from the game link. And same here. I'll just go ahead and pass this. I don't know if it's going to need it really. Or like if we're going to need this class. Oh no, we'll still have this one. It's the one that... Oh no, this one actually might be the one that's going to go away. There's another one that the Lua functions actually call that we'll need, but I think this one just stores a list. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. We'll get to that. It actually just needs a list to the... so we got link, registry, action, lists. Okay, and then there's some more down here because the constructors need various information. This is a common one. Database. I don't like that name. Everything needs the battle. see some of this older code. Yeah, it does a lot of the logic itself, which I like. But it seems like in the newer code, I was getting overwhelmed and I just put everything in with data, or not databases, with the delegates. And I think it's just made the code a little harder to keep track of because everything is split between multiple classes that do the same thing, so there's not really any point. Okay, so this is all cleaned up, and I think that most of these functions will stay. I mean, the class is still really big, but at least it's cohesive. Okay, so here, okay, I wanted to have the script state. Yeah, I think I will need that. But first of all, we'll do this in the process of removing delegates. So I guess let's just start with a simpler one. Probably the audio. Oh, I'm looking at the data again. Okay, so I know there's an audio source here. Okay, so I already have this audio source link, but I won't really need that anymore, I don't think. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that class. And this will actually just be the game link. So here we would do the logic for get volume ourselves. So let's close all of this. Oh no, I will need that. So let's clean this up a bit. So basically, I want to move the get volume, all this code into the actual audio source. Okay, so obviously I can't do that just verbatim. So isn't logging state, that's one of the things I wanted to be in the script state class. But I don't know if I need to have a separate class or if I should just stick that information in the game link. I guess I'll just keep things a little simpler. So this will be information about the currently running script. For instance, we might want to know I don't know how I'll actually store this, but we'll want to have a boolean to get, oops, that's wrong, syntax, like is coroutine enabled, and then I don't know, is action logging active. That's kind of the things that I think will be in here. Oh yeah, we don't need that class anymore. So for here, I guess in the game link I'll go ahead and create that script state. I'm not sure how it will get this information yet. Okay, it's going to complain because script state is not a public class, but I definitely want it to be. Okay, so let's return false. Be nice if it would like automatically set these flags whenever I called a script, but so I wouldn't have to go and update a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe, let's see. Oh, it's not the right class. So this is the class that takes care of the coroutine or asynchronous Lua scripts. So right now it has this that just goes in the coroutine helper. So I guess what I want to do, isn't there a variable? Yeah, oh no, that's not the one. Yeah, the handling script variable that will give me this class that's currently running, so I know that if it's null, that we're not coroutine enabled. Yeah, it sets it down here when it's done calling a script. So that'd be a nice way to do it automatically, and I wouldn't have to actually rely on the rest of the game to tell me if I'm coroutine enabled or not. And then I could also get this options, and I could also check log animations. Okay, so I think that's the best way to do it. And if that's the case, then I'm going to need to get a handle on that variable in the script state. So does the game link? I guess it should just have a reference to the game itself. And then anything that wants to can subscribe to a message. But of course everything will have to try to dispose itself. And then I want to dispose the registry as well. Although right now these won't actually do anything, but... And here is where we would dispose any listeners that we have active. Oh, why did it place it right there? Okay, so... So right now there's nothing that needs to be disposed really because nothing in here actually listens to the outside world. But I think in the future something will, so I'll just leave that. Now here, if I do have a message claim, I'll need to dispose it myself. And a nice way to do it also is if I could just create a disposable list, but I don't know. I probably won't actually subscribe to that many messages, so I don't think it's needed. Alright, so this would just be a message claim. Or no, not a claim, it's a variable claim. To what's this one? And I can grab it right here. Okay, and then a dispose. Oh yeah, we don't have a reference to the controller, obviously. So link game components, get variable async tracking, and then we just call claim. Oh, I forgot one. Brace. Claim, and then we'll just activate it immediately. We don't have to do all this stuff normally because we use the autocontroller that handles it for us, but since I don't want it to automatically dispose when the scene changes, I'll just take care of it myself. And luckily we're not going to be getting too many variables, so I don't think it'll be that difficult. So return handling script value does not equal null. then is action logging enabled? Is handling skip value not equal null, and handling script value options. I'm gonna do a bit comparison here to just get the flags. And again, this options value can just hold. It's basically, think of it like a true false, but for many different values, because basically we're storing it in one big binary number, and each bit, which can either be true or false. And here we're just checking if a certain bit is turned on. So if it's not 0, then that means that this option's been enabled. Okay, and let's move dispose up to the top actually. And then the game link I need to pass itself. Okay, so now the audio source, we have this now. I can call, oh, don't know why it froze right there. Link script is action logging active. Okay, and now we need to take care of this. So I need to look through the animation sequence. Probably I'll just have the script manager do that. I think it already does, maybe. Okay, so let's go back. So I think I had this named animation script manager originally, but then I changed it to script manager because it wouldn't be redundant with the namespace. But since it's going to be public, I think I'll name it back again. Okay, and that's all for here. Let's see. So I don't really need some of these values anymore. Okay, I'm gonna need to check if I can allow animations. But even if I don't allow animations, you can still get the volume, so I think that's why I didn't throw an error there. Let's see, we will need that in the script state, so we'll go ahead and add it. Is animations enabled? Okay, and I guess I'll just set the other, or get the other bit options here, which I think is actions and stat requests. And I know this is probably bad grammar, but I want to keep everything starting with is. Okay, so anyway, I'll leave this here for now. And probably I'll change this function so that instead of throwing an exception, it will just return null, so that way I can take care of the exception myself. Okay, so what was I trying to figure out? Okay, so I don't actually, this look and sequence is not part of the animation script manager, so I guess I'll make it part of it. Okay, so audio property command. Yeah, it's a shame I can't, like, I guess I could. So we'll look for a specific type here. And then we have to have the source. So yeah, that's not gonna work. Well, I had a nice way I did it in the Lua interface already. So it must be an action list. Yeah, I had each action of type. Maybe I'll do something similar. Or if it's a type, it will try to cast this command and then yield it. Okay, so T, it'll try to yield to that. Oh, the audio property type. Yeah, so this should actually be the stored animation type. Let's see. Since right now we only look for audio, I might as well just set this to only be audio. But how about instead of just sending the source, we'll do it this way. So model ID and audio ID. So I know we have the animation sequence in this class, but I must have named it something else. Look in sequence for audio. Oh, wrong vowel there. I was wondering what that error was about. Okay, so pretty simple. And now up here, I'll just change this to link. Oh, the game link doesn't have a reference to the animation script manager yet. Although, there's no way for it to really get a reference to this yet. Okay, this is a bit hacky, but I think I'm just going to let it be able to set it for now. Probably should change that, but... So we do something like database, Lua, link, animation scripts equals this. Yeah, I don't really like that because any script could go and like change this to whatever they want. Another option would be to have this as an auto controller. I mean, have this as a component so I can register it into the auto controller, but I guess that would work. Okay, anyway, so back here, so animation scripts, get our... Is it? It must be private. And all these are also internal, so I might need to make them public. Okay, and then we'll just pass the model ID and audio ID here. So again, this does like, now the Lua interface has a bit of knowledge about like the inner workings of the game, but that's not that big of a deal because Lua interface is part of the inner workings of the game. So before I was trying to keep them a little too separate, I think, and I was just a bit messy. Okay, so now I need to get a reference to this so I can get information. And I think it would be fine if I just claim this. Maybe I could just have the animation script claim this message so I don't have to have it myself. And then I can just ask the animation script helper to send it. Okay, so let's see. Because it already has this audio exists query, so audio property query. And then I guess I'll just create another function here, so it'd be public. And then we're basically just going to call this query, but I kind of like it actually being in the script manager instead of the Lua interface itself. So that way the Lua interface doesn't have to keep a claim to this message around. Query audio property. Okay, so that's pretty simple. And then instead of sending it ourselves, we would just get link animation scripts, query audio property. Okay, so I think that is quite a bit simpler because we can basically delete this whole class when we're done. Alright, so now let's try to set volume in here. So first we want to check if it's a valid time. So is animations enabled? This should be equals false. Maybe I should change all these to be disabled. Because that's mostly how I'm gonna want to check this. So instead of checking that's not equal to 0, we'd actually check if it equals 0. And this would actually be OR because they're disabled if it's not coroutine enabled script. Okay. Let's go back to here. So is animation disabled? Okay, now it's starting to bother me that the bad grammar. Okay, and here we'll just check to make sure it's within 0 and 1. Okay, and this script is already set up. I just need to change a couple of variable names in here. Okay, so that was pretty simple. And now I just need to do play. Which is a bit more involved, but I don't think it'll be too difficult. So again, we'll just check If they're disabled, we'll throw an error because we can't play when the animations are disabled. And then we'll want to do another query to see if it's looping. So I can just call this. I'll go ahead and copy that as well because... Oh wait, it's right here. So here it's checking to see if this audio is a looping audio or not. Okay, and now I can call this function. And there we go. So basically we've copied everything that was in this Lua audio source functions into the actual Lua interface, and in the process combined some classes where they didn't need to be separated, I think. The only other thing we could do is not throw script runtime exceptions in the animation script manager, because there was a couple times I think it comes up. Let's get audio D, but it's alright. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think. I don't even know if this function needs to be here because I think it's only called... Oh no, it's called twice. Alright, so we're done with that, and I guess... I think I've copied everything from here, so I can delete it, I think. Surprised, how come it's not throwing errors? That is a little weird. Sure, there's going to be a bunch of errors in here. That's okay, because we're in the middle of doing some cleanup. Okay, yeah. Now this is what I was expecting. Object registry does not exist. Oh, I should dispose the game link there. Okay, and the audio source, I just need to pass the game link. And then here... Okay, yeah, this is just this function, or this class. So anything, I think I've moved all this code out somewhere else, so I think I can safely delete it. If I need it, it is in version control, so. Okay, so now let's work on some of the other ones real quick. Basically, I want to get rid of all these classes that start with Lua, I think. So we might as well just start at the top. Most of the other ones are in the animations class. Yeah, we have a ton of functions here. Just so Unity doesn't go crazy with errors, I'll just delete them one by one. Okay, so we're done with that. Okay, so global get audio is actually here. And this does not have a reference to the game link, so we're definitely going to want to fix that. Okay, it has this animations wait handle. Oh wait, no, that's not the constructor. And of course, in Lua, you need to hide the default constructor. And so if this is ever called, we should throw a not supported exception. Not supported exception, and because we only want to pass, or we only want to construct it if we're going to pass a game link. All right. Okay, so this is really simple. It's just link, and then an animation manager is. Oh wait, no, not animation manager. It's script manager. Animation's disabled, and then we need to call the get audio ID on the animation manager. Okay, so it has this. I guess that's fine. And then I have the link object registry. Okay, so that was actually very simple. This one is about the same. It also calls get model ID. Let's call this target. Okay, so now this is all done, so I can delete this class, right? Yeah, I copied everything. Okay, so do movement, just has linear arc and rotate. These are a bit more involved, but not too bad. So linear just calls handle arc, but then it sets height to 0, so I guess I'll start with arc. I make some helper functions in here. Okay, so again, check if it's disabled. Okay, and then now we're checking or trying to find the target position. Okay. Final position does not exist. Oh, okay, I just different name. And this is the link.battle. I should probably name all this to final position actually, just so it's consistent with what it was in the final script. There'll be less renaming. Okay, so there's a lot of code in here. I wonder, it might be nice to move some of this stuff out to a separate, like, movement animations helper class. So I can move things like, oh, where'd it go? I guess I didn't keep the class open. Like this, the get sync type and the get easing function. This will just be a static class. Right, and then this is part of Beluga. Still some errors. Namespace cannot directly contain members as field or methods, but this is static. Oh, it's private. That shouldn't be a big deal, but... Oh. Oh, I see what's wrong. It doesn't like it if you put static after the class. I was gonna say that is a static function, so I was trying to figure out why it was mad at me. Okay, so if we go back to here, probably I should move this class or this out as well. It's kind of big. So this would be private static. What is the return value? Vector 3. Is that the final? Yeah, I guess it is. So get position, and I don't know what arguments, we'll look into that. Okay, so I'll probably rename this, but final position is actually a dynamic value. And then it also needs to be past the game link so it can get to the battle. I guess we could just pass the board. Okay, and then we would just return target vector 3. Okay, what's this error about? The name vect does not exist. Don't understand what that's talking about. Easing is already in the scope. Okay, so I think this is not actually an error. It's just sometimes the compiler doesn't complete if there's other bugs in the or other syntax errors that it sees. So I think that's what this deal is. Okay, so I'll just rename this to position. Okay, and then here, target vector 3, we can just change to move animation helper. Oh, it's private. So public get position. Link. I have a reference to the link. Don't I? Oh, this is the old class. Okay. Undo. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I should move this so I don't confuse myself again. So this is move animation helper, get position, link, battle, board. Okay, then we pass in the dynamic value, which is, again, just a Lua variable, which can be any type. And then move animation helper dot get synchronized type and get easing function. What was it not like about that? Alright, and I need to change this to easing string. Change this to the easing function, just so that's not an error or a problem anymore. Get sync type is inaccessible. Okay, I thought I made them all public. Okay, and I call this period type here. Okay, and so this is link animation scripts. Okay, so I'll change these to sync type string and then sync argument just to be consistent. Okay, so there we go. And then I can just change move linear to move arc target final position 0 sync, or it's period type here. There we go. So now both of those are done, and I'll need to do the rotate. Another big function, but maybe we can pull something else out of here. Alright, so is valid time to call. We just need to check if animations are disabled. Alright, and yeah, I think I will pull this script, or this whole thing out as well. Yeah, I guess it's... So public, static, void, get rotation. And it needs the... Well, if it doesn't need the board, it just needs a final rotation, which is a dynamic value. So that's actually pretty simple. And then we just return the target rotation. Okay, so this equals move animation helper get rotation, final rotation, that's it. And this is period type. I kind of like the period type name better, but I'll just go with synchronize arg. Synchronize arg is not here. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Okay, let's rename this to easing function. Okay, and then just need to fix these other few errors. Okay, and this should be rotate. Oops, on how you spell that. And there we go. I think we're done with another function. So anything else here? I moved rotate, I moved arc, linear. Got that, I got that. Okay, so we're done. Set animator parameter. This one shouldn't be too difficult. Has a couple common functions, but let's just start here. But it's starting to get a bit too much open, so I'll close that. Okay, so again, we just need to check if it's disabled. These are all similar. I wonder if there's an easier way. If I could just... Is there any difference between them besides the type parameter? Because I could maybe just pass this command up. They're all the same. So let's see. Private void set animator parameter. So we'll just have dynamic value target. Okay, so really the only thing that changes between them is the value and then this parameter type. So we'll still need to have this, and then I'll just have like a half-made command. So here, let's just copy this up. But what I'd actually do is call on the set boolean, we would set animator parameter target parameter name, and then we just half make this command where we set the boolean value and the type. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And then up here, we'll need I guess I won't need a separate function for that. Yeah, we'll just check if it's null. For an animator, must be non-empty. Okay, we'll deal with that for now. So what this does, okay, yeah, we see if we get an error from the manager. We can deal with that. This is link animator scripts. Okay, and it gives us back this error, and if, depending on what it is, we'll throw something out. Okay, so what's the model name? Okay, that's how we get the model ID. Don't need that anymore. So command.model ID is this. And of course I need to fix this null variable. And then the name we can also set. Oh no. Command.name is the parameter name. Okay, we're done there. And then we send the parameter here, get the error. Okay, so yeah, I simplified the previous code actually. Set integer, we change this to the int value, and this is integer. Float value. And then trigger has no value, but we just set this type. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with that. So I copied this, then I combined all of these together, and there's nothing unique about them really, besides just the different types. Surprised I didn't catch that earlier, but it's just a few more, and these are all simpler, so the timer. About the same thing, so first, of course, I need to check if animations are disabled. And then we check the period, and then the rest of it I just need to replace that variable name, I think, and I'll be good to go. Set up a request, and then send a command. And yeah, there's nothing else here, so I'll delete this class. And okay, so here again, it's just a bunch of calls to the script manager. What is this? Actions wait all. That's not here, that's a different function. Okay, yeah, right here. Except this one. So again, we see if we're disabled. Otherwise, I need to trigger a wait. I'm looking for this. Probably could have done it faster if I just typed it out. Okay, so signal wait, all, and then yeah, no handle. And then wait single actually passed a wait handle. Alright, and then yeah, this returns false if we are supposed to use a coroutine instead, so that's taken care of. Yeah, nothing else in here. And this other one. Trying to figure out. Okay, yeah, it's trying to wait for a specific animation to finish. Okay, I remember now. Like an animation, or I guess a better name would be like animator state, but this one shouldn't be that difficult either because everything is already encapsulated in the script manager. So again, we start async request, and here we just get the model. Okay, and that's it here, so I'll go ahead and delete that. And then the last one is wait for signal, which, oh yeah, this waits for a custom script signal in the from the animator. It's really not much different. All right, and then just check. Yeah, this is already set up. Okay, oh yeah, and while I'm here I might as well fix these errors. I can just delete all this. And then delete this class. Okay, and now we're pretty much done. Let's see, so I wanted to remove delegates. Oh, well I still have to do the pathfinding, but I might wait to do that. I did the script state. Okay, so I really just wanted to kind of clean up for sure everything with the animation system while I'm still working on it, so I won't, because I knew I wanted to do this, so I didn't want to have to add things to the old system and then have to update them. So I took this short detour, but I think it was worth it. Registry, let's just check. The link is never assigned to, that would be a problem. Game link is never assigned to, it's another problem. And then it says the asset organizer battle and log is never used. That's a bit interesting. Might as well clean that up while we can. Okay, I was gonna recompile just to take those two variables out. Okay, so now hopefully when I play the game everything will still work as it did before. And I really just move some code around, so Okay, the action list. What's going on there? Object not set to an instance. So that means either the registry or the action list isn't set up yet. Oh, I know why. Because we create the registry and then the constructor is called, but it's not actually like set to this value yet. So the thing we have to do is instead of getting a reference to the list, it should just get a reference to the game link. Which I think, like I said, I think I'm going to get rid of this class eventually, but or at least change the way it works. Okay, I wonder if there's any other classes like that. I guess we'll catch it. Okay, there we go. Wasn't sure if it was still compiling or not. Okay, yes, there was another error. Operation is not supported. I guess I called the wrong constructor. Yeah, so Lua object registry needs to pass the link here. Exceeded maximum limit and claims. Oh, I think I know. I think I did a claim on the script when it should actually just be a subscription because it's not going to set it. Yes, this should be variable subscription. Yeah, because it's just reading it. It's not going to set it, so there's no reason to claim it there. And it only wants to allow one claim, which is fine. Okay, so it started rolling, but we got an error. Cannot call animations in this script. Probably... Oh, no, that's right. Oh, this should be if it is null. Or this option's turned off. Yes, I kind of went halfway because I changed this to or, but then I forgot to change that to equals null. Alright, so we got a little farther. Get block. The registry is null. I think this is the same error as I had before. Yeah, so just instead of having a reference to the registry, it should just have a reference to the game link. It's a bit of an extra step, but okay, I should probably clean that up, but I don't remember anywhere else that actually uses the game link yet. Let's find references so I can maybe try and fix this before another error comes up. So animations is fine. Audio source, fine. Okay, I think I got them all. Still compiling. Right, there we go. So hopefully we'll get a little bit farther this time. Oh yeah, this one was moving. I was wondering, it's not going. Or is it not moving? Can I move? Oh yeah, there's no movement. Okay. Yeah, it's just a sound test. But now it's working okay. Yeah, and that third series of sound effects was when the new turn started. Yeah, so it looks like everything's working fine. Cool. So I guess, yeah, I'll need to do this at some point, but I kind of want to move on and finish up audio for now. And I don't know, whenever we want to go back to more cleanup, update the action logger. Probably whenever I work on actions next. I know that at least the pathfinding system yeah, here uses delegates, and I want to get rid of that, but it'll be okay for now. Actually, now that I think about it, doesn't some of the asynchronous scripts might as well. Yeah, a lot of this stuff does, so I'm gonna need to go through and look. So, coroutine helper. That one's okay. Well, these are, I mean, it's just getting setters, but there's no logic there. Oh wait, what's this? Ability targets. Ability targets. Well no. What is this? Okay, yeah, this was a delegate. It's just a little different. That was maybe one of the first ones I did. That's okay. This action list we'll probably get rid of. Updated those. This is fine. I don't mind so much if it's just storing data, but I don't like the delegate functions. It just creates kind of weird code. Oh yeah, and the whole map generation, I think, needs to be updated at some point. Yeah, that one I know. This one I did right. Function registry. This is okay, it's just a data storage. Okay, hidden info requests. It's another one. I think I started doing it when I was doing the asynchronous Lua scripts, just because those two bits of code are so interconnected. But there are ways to deal with it that's not quite as confusing code-wise. Okay, yeah, this class is fine because it just gets that data and does a bunch of logic on it. Turn selection, okay. Okay, yeah, so that was it. But anyway, we'll come back to this. So what else do I need to do in terms of audio? So I want to do a local audio source. I don't think I've tested that yet. Or, well, it's not checked, but I think I have a get audio for that already. But I guess it's not tested. So on the egg dino, I do have a bit of audio. Or did I not set that up? Oh yeah, jump and land right here. Oh yeah, I wanted to create 2 more sound effects for that. Okay, so let's open up... Yeah, let me open up that program real quick. While it's loading. Oh yeah, BFXR is what it's called again. Right, there we go. And it just, again, it just makes like little sounds that are kind of like 8-bit. And it's really good if you're going to just create sounds for like a Ludum Dare is when I normally use it. And we'll use it for just temporary test sounds. But it is going to be kind of loud, so let me turn off the music and then I'll change my desktop volume. So hopefully it won't blow your headset. Alright, so I'm going to start it. Okay, that's not too bad for you guys, I hope. Okay, so let's just clear this. Oh, let's not do that actually. I have a ton of stuff in there. But what I want to do is create a jump. I didn't like that too much. Okay, that's fine. So export to, okay, it's already in here. I'll just call it test jump. And then land, let's just do hit hurt. That's pretty good actually. Okay, so this will be test land. Okay, so they should show up here and yeah, right here. So let's just force to mono, apply. Okay, and I guess I can change my volume back. Oh yeah, this looks good. And so what I want to do, I don't need to create a prefab for them because it's not going to be a global sound. So I can just drag the audio clip into the test dino or egg dino. And then I think, yeah, both of them have a source tag. So I have jump and land. So I'll open this and apply it. And I guess I'll build the asset bundles. And while that's building, let's go ahead and update the script to use it. Let's get rid of this because, yeah, we know that works. Okay, so jump. Basically here, we've changed the syntax a bit, so we can just change this to get sound effect. User and jump, and so it'll get the jump sound effect off of the user model, except that's not spelled correctly. And then down here it checks if sound effect. Then we know once the movement is over, then that we want to play the landing sound. So animations, get sound effect. Oh right, and then we have to actually call the play function here. And we'll just use the default volumes and everything. It is nice to like slightly vary the volume and pitch, but well, pitch isn't even implemented right now, but we probably will want to have a helper function to, I don't know, pick a random pitch because that's so used so often. Or I don't know, that might be a bit of bloat to put that into the actual system. Okay, so is it done? Oh yeah, it always gives me that error, but it always still works, so. Alright, so we have asset bundles here, and this is where I created the new asset bundle. Which is really just a bundle of all the different sounds and stuff that we have set up to be into are part of a mod. But in order to actually load it, we're going to put it in the streaming assets folder. Alright, and so now the sound effect should be created, and we can test that out by playing the game, and if the new, or if the egg downloads that respond from the asset bundle have those sound files on them, then we know it worked out. And they do, they have jump and land. Okay, and it goes through the output, so that's good. Oh, this should be 0, but... Oh, it is 0. I can't really see it, but it's probably like negative something. Oops. This is negative 42, so yeah, that's basically 0. Just a rounding error. Alright, so... Okay, well, let's just try a movement command and see if it works. Okay, no, we got an error. Cannot access field, get sound effect. Did I call it wrong? Oh, it's get audio. That makes sense because it could be music. Alright, so let's try it again. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, and it's kind of hard to tell because of the way the camera is set, but Unity has positional audio. Except I don't think we have... Yeah, we actually don't have the positional audio set up on here, but since we want to make sure that we play a certain audio on this object... Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing, actually. Because, like if the camera was over here, we'd want this monster sound to be louder than this one, which is farther away. So that's one of the main reasons that we wanted to be able to specify the audio based on the specific monster. And also because different monsters might all have a jump sound effect, but probably sound different. So I think I can mark that as complete. So I don't know why I wanted to wait 1 frame. I guess that's why I thought that's what I thought that error was that I started out with today. But I don't actually have to do this. Oops. I highlighted the wrong thing. Okay, so yeah, that's not needed. Or we can strike this out. Does it have a strike? Doesn't look like it. That's a shame. Huh. Yeah, like a strike would be useful there, but... Well. Okay, so yeah, play is good, obviously. So we can already... well, we can't check if audio is looping, but looping support is there. Let's see, let's make one more audio that's just some... I wonder if I can make some, like... not completely ear-busting sound that's kind of long that I can loop here. Okay, let's turn down the audio a bit again. guess that will do. I don't have any long sounds prepared. I was hoping for more like white noise. Well, you know what? I could just create white noise in Audacity. That way it'll actually loop. So let's create new. Oh, I guess I don't have to do that. So track, add new, mono's fine. Generate noise. That's fine. Let's just do. Oh, this is seconds actually. Okay, so let's do 1 second, or that's 10 actually. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Well, we can put the volume down when we get into the game. So I'll export this as a wave. Okay, that's a different project. Okay, so tactical lizard tamer, Unity, assets, audio. I guess I'll just call this pink noise. Okay, and that should do the trick. Again, I'll just force it to mono. So I will need to create an object for this, which I can just drag into the scene, and Unity will take care of it for me. And I'll go ahead and set the volume down to half. And I can drag this back in here, and it will create a prefab. Perfect. And then I want to add this to the asset bundle. And I'll need to add it also to the global sound here. I guess let's just put it below. So pink noise. I don't know what. Mixer I want to add it to. I guess I can just set it up into this mixer. Well, let's make another group. We could turn the volume down here. There we go. And that way I don't have to mess with it here. Alright, it doesn't make much difference, but... Okay, so I don't want play on awake, but I want to set loop to true, and we'll just set this to the noise group. Alright, and I'll go ahead and build the asset bundle. I don't remember if I remember to apply that prefab. Hopefully I did. But anyway, so what I want to do is in the framework functions, I think I can safely get rid of this, or I'll just comment it out in case. Oops. But I want to play that noise. So local noise equals animations dot get audio. Oh, well, first of all, let's test what happens when I try to do a coroutine wait on this. It should throw an error because it's looping, so I can't yield with this coroutine, with this noise. Okay, so first I want to check to make sure. Okay, I did apply, so let's move these down here. Oops, that was wrong. Files. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So let's play. Oh, I should disable that object, but it shouldn't make any difference. Okay, yeah, so it got an error because yield without requests, because it was trying to yield with a null object. maybe I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should. Because one thing, this could lead to some errors if I yield, if I allow yielding without an argument, because right now it just looks to see if there's anything to wait for. I don't know, but I kind of wanted the game to like see that this returned nothing, so I'm actually passing nil, not passing nothing. But I don't think Lua makes that distinction. So let me write a note about that, or a note. So should async system still allow passing nothing to coroutine yield? Could lead to bugs since coroutine yield and coroutine yield nil are treated the same. So I could either find a way to detect these separate calls or just have another way to say yield for any request. Maybe have a different way to yield for any request. I'll think about that. Anyway, so yeah, this did throw an error like I thought, because since noise is looping, there's nothing to yield. So what I'm going to do is play that and then routine yield. Oops, that's not how you spell that. Animations. Start timer. Let's 2.5 seconds, I guess. And then right now, if I do this, the game will give me control of the characters, but obviously the sound will keep playing. I can't even hear it right now. I think it's so quiet. Okay, that's not going to do, is it? Yeah, I think it was playing, but yeah, it's too quiet. There's no way I can edit this mixer. So yeah, let's just set this to 0. So hopefully it won't be too loud, but I need to actually be able to hear it while I'm testing. So yeah, I should have realized that. So while that's rebuilding, well, I guess I just need to test this. So we'll just wait until it's done. Well, that didn't take too long. Seems like sometimes it takes ages to build a bundle, but other times it's not too bad. Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to hear the white noise now. I might be able to also just up or increase the global audio, but... Okay, there we go. So now it's pretty obvious. Turn down the sound a bit. So yeah, that white noise. Alright, so yeah, I kept playing obviously, and I'll keep playing forever. Unless I call stop. Oops, I don't know how to do that. Okay, so obviously I need to implement another function here. Not in animation, so it's in the audio source. Okay, no dynamic object, because I mean you can't wait for something to stop, it just will stop immediately. First thing I need to check again if animations are allowed at this time. And I don't have to do wait handle. So really I just need to create another command to stop audio.